It's that time again. We're going to do the monthly data report from July. The numbers are in. I'm also going to talk about the reverse bubble, which is actually the opposite of the doom and gloom. The market's going to crash bubble. Welcome back. My name is Achilles with Urban Nest Realty, and as always, I'm bringing you the good and the bad about Las Vegas and the Las Vegas market. And as always, if you get any value out of my content, please subscribe, hit the little bell. That way you'll be notified when new content comes out. Also, if you're thinking about relocating or moving within Las Vegas and you have any questions at all about life in Las Vegas in general or the real estate market, anything at all, feel free and reach out. I'd love to have a chat. Text me, call me, email me. Let's connect. Okay, without any further ado, let's talk about the local data first. July 2023 single family market trends. We have a number of closings. In July, they have gone down to 2,041 units, 11% from June. I think that happened because we did have 7% interest rates hit us again in July, and that I'm sure hurt our closings number. Now let's move on to, and here we see a number of new listings. We're at 2354, gone down 10% from June. Again, the main reason for that we're going to discuss a little bit later, but it has to do with people don't want to give up their low interest rates. Now here's the next most important number. As always, availability of units for sale, we are 1.7 months. Quick recap, for Las Vegas to have a balanced market, we need to be at around 4 months of inventory. As you can see, Las Vegas hasn't operated in an optimal market since 2016 because inventory has just been low. It's been teetering between 3 months, below 3 months, but mostly operating under 2 months of inventory. So right here, 1.7, which is not even halfway to the balanced market. So as you can see, there's no relief of getting more inventory into the market, which is going to keep home prices competitive and moving in an upward trend, regardless of what interest rates are doing. You know, interest rates might slow down the upward trend of home prices, might even level it off a little bit if they get high enough. You know, there's a demand out there still, even with the high mortgage rates. So for the people who need to relocate because of a job or because of any life changes and moving is a must, they're going to do it. Home prices will keep increasing regardless. This is how real estate works. They're going to, build equity in their home and refinance later, so they'll make up for it in the long run. The next thing I'd like to talk about is an article from Freddie Mac. It will show you how different experts have different opinions of what's going to happen to the mortgage rate. However, they do agree on one thing. Barring some radical change in the trajectory of inflation or a recession, it seems unlikely that the Fed will increase rates further after July, said Craig Tideman, assistant professor of economics at Niagara University. Then it goes on to say in the near term, mortgage rates are likely to stay roughly where they are between 6.5 and 7%, but until inflation finds its way down to a target range of about 2%. Mr. Krieg believes interest rates will stay at 6.5 to 7%, which is one point of view, but he does say that if inflation goes down to 2%, that's when we're going to see a quicker downtrend of mortgages below 6.5. Now, Doug McKnight, president of a commercial real estate firm, he says mortgage rates to hold close to 7% through the end of the year. So both Krieg and McKnight agree on the fact that 6.5 to 7% is going to be the rate until the end of the year. However, we have Darren Tooley, senior loan officer at Cornerstone Financial Services right here. He predicts the mortgage rates will end up in the low 6 range by end of the year. He also says if inflation continues to decline, I don't think rates in the high 5% range are completely out of the question. Now that article shows two different point of views. One point of view from two experts is that the mortgage rate, it's going to stay, 6.5 to 7%, only because they don't see inflation going down to where the Fed wants it at 2% until probably next year. But they do agree on the fact that once the Fed can control inflation and it gets the number of 2%, interest rates will go down. Now, the third expert, he predicts, 6%, 5.5% by the end of this year. I tend to agree with the fact that it all depends on the Fed and inflation. The closer we get to 2%, the quicker the downtrend of mortgage rates will be. At the end of the day, mortgage rates will come down, and people who are buying now at the higher interest rate will be able to refinance later. I also mentioned the reverse bubble. What I mean by that is it's exactly the opposite of the doom and gloom bubble, the housing market crash that some of the people out there are talking about. It's a positive outlook, and I'm looking at two avenues. One is the millennials that are going to be coming into the market, and two, all the people who are not selling right now because they feel locked in to the low interest rate they have. They don't want to give that up. First, I'm going to show you a graph that shows how the millennials are really going to be a big part of the home buyers coming into the market very soon, and why. So let's bring this up. Let's make it bigger. So this is a chart of the birth rates in the United States from 1970 to 2020. Right here, what do you see? Huge spike, right? 1990, all the millennials right here. 1990 to 2023, that makes them 33 years old, 34. And then also I wanted to mention, it dips a little bit. The birth rate dips, goes back up, dips, and goes back up. So basically within, right before 2010 and 1990, you have an increase in birth rates. So that's about at least 10 to 12 years of surplus of millennials starting in 2023 right now. The average new home buyer age is 33 to 36. So think about all the millennials that are sitting on the fence right now, that are like right at the beginning, 33, 34 years old. And the only reason they're still sitting on the fence is because they came in right when the interest rates were super high. Once those interest rates come down to, I'd say, 6.5 and under, those fencers are all going to jump into the fray. And that's going to force home prices to go higher because there's going to be higher demand and inventory is still low. So you have those kind of buyers that are going to flood the market in the next 3, 4, 6, 8 months, depending on the interest rates and how quickly they come down. And in addition, all those people that feel locked in, they're going to come into the market in the near future. Check out this article. The recent spike in mortgage rates has created a so-called golden handcuff effect. Nearly 82% of homeowners feel locked in by their existing low-rate mortgage, according to data from Realtor.com. In the meantime, shortage of homes for sale is pushing up prices. This is a great article and a great example of what's going on. Bob Wood, 66, has been thinking of selling his home in Mobile, Alabama. The finance professor and his wife, finance professor, Terry, purchased a 5,000 square foot house with a pool nearly a decade ago. It's probably time to downsize, he said. They would also like to be closer to their grandchildren in Tennessee. So he has 2 reasons to move, and yet we are in the 10th year of a 3.1% 15-year fixed mortgage. That is a great mortgage rate. We just don't want to pay that much in interest. Wood is among a stock of people sitting on the very cheap mortgages, says Thomas Phillipson, a professor of public policy. Those homeowners will need to finance a new home at a higher rate than the rate they currently hold, adding hundreds of dollars a month to their mortgage rate. The recent spike in mortgage rates has created a so-called golden handcuff effect. The term is often used to describe financial incentives employers may offer to discourage employees from leaving a company. For homeowners, a low mortgage rate is very similar. Most homeowners today have mortgages with interest rates below 4% or even below 3%. Nearly 82% of homeowners said they felt locked in by their existing low mortgage rate. Now, when I hear people feel locked in, that means they don't want to be there. They want to sell for whatever reason, but the numbers just don't make sense for them, at least not right now. However, the article goes on to say rate lock tipping point 5%. Wood, that's the gentleman up top we used as an example, said he would be more likely to move if rates come down to 4 or even 5%. So we have the millennials ready to jump in as soon as interest rates go down. Not to 5%. The millennials are going to jump in, I believe, if they see 6.5 and under. And we're going to see multiple offers per home once again. It might not be 2021 kind of offers, but it will be close. Bottom line, real estate is looking good. If you have a different point of view or agree or disagree, please comment. I'd love to have a chat. And if you get any value out of this content, please subscribe, hit the little bell. And as I mentioned before, if you're thinking about moving to Las Vegas or moving within Las Vegas, or have any questions about, cost of living, what different parts of Las Vegas can offer for your lifestyle, anything at all, feel free to call me, text me, email me. Let's connect. Let's have a chat. Other than that, until next time, take care.